I'm Nate Eaton with EastIdahoNews.com, and I want to give you an update on the discovery of Dylan Round's body, his remains, on Tuesday afternoon in Box Elder County, Utah. This is the young man from eastern Idaho who has been missing for nearly 2 years. He vanished over Memorial Day weekend in 2022, 19 years old at the time. A man has been arrested in connection to his murder and was in custody, and we are told from family members that that man, James Brenner, led investigators out to the burial site where Dylan Round's body was disposed of. The Box Elder County Sheriff's Office, since we did our last video, has since released a statement, and I want to read that for you here. You can see it on your screen. It says, on April 9th, skeletal remains presumed to belong to Dylan Rounds were recovered in the remote western Box Elder County area of Lucin. The FBI assisted the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office by processing the area for evidence and recovering the remains. The remains are in the possession of the Utah Office of the Medical Examiner for confirmation of identity. As mentioned in the press release in March 2023, James Brenner was formally charged with aggravated murder and abuse or desecration of a human body for the murder of Dylan Rounds and the disposal of his body. Our hearts go out to the family of Dylan Rounds. We offer our sincerest condolences for the loss of their family member. We understand that the pain of their loss is immeasurable, and we want to express our deepest sympathies for them. It is our hope that they can find peace moving forward. We would like to express our gratitude to our deputies, detectives, volunteers, and other Box Elder County employees who have worked tirelessly investigating and assisting in the many search efforts during the past 23 months. We highly appreciate their diligent efforts, unwavering dedication, and commitment, and we extend our genuine thanks to them for their hard work. We are grateful to everyone who assisted and supported the investigation and search efforts on this exceptionally challenging case. The dedication and collaboration of those involved have been absolutely remarkable, and the invaluable aid provided to the Box Elder County Sheriff's Office has been instrumental in the success of this investigation. No additional information can be released at this time so as not to compromise the ongoing legal proceedings. I'm told that Dylan's family was notified yesterday, or I should say Tuesday morning, for those of you watching on a day other than Wednesday. They were notified around 11 a.m. that the remains had indeed been found in Lucin. That's all the information we have at this point. This is Dylan. He was a farmer who loved what he did. He had moved out to Lucin, which is near the Nevada-Utah border in northern Utah. He had spent several months there farming, and you can see it's very remote. That was his camper. That was his truck. Not a lot out there. He had his tools and machinery that would help him plow the ground. This is the man accused of the aggravated murder of Dylan Rounds. His name is James Brenner. He has a violent criminal history. He was squatting on property near where Dylan was staying. Mr. Brenner was staying in a trailer. He was staying next to a shed that was full of items, and this is kind of a map that lays out where his camper was and where Dylan's boots were found. Dylan's boots were found a couple of days after he went missing. His family went out to the area. They began their own search. They found his boots there behind that pile of dirt, fairly close-ish, you could say, to Brenner's camper, but obviously something that would definitely stick out in this very remote area. This is the shed I was just talking about, where James Brenner was spotted removing items right after Dylan disappeared, and where who knows what was in those bags, but it most likely will come into play if there is a trial, assuming there probably won't be, because during a plea agreement, the suspect agrees to plead to a certain matter of charges or whatnot and agree to most likely a particular sentence that hasn't been revealed, and in exchange he took them to where Dylan's body was found. The details of that arrangement and what was agreed upon will likely be released in the coming days as this case slowly goes through court. And I say slowly, it's because he was arrested over a year ago in March of 2023, Mr. Brenner, but there has been very few court proceedings because he is a federal inmate. He was taken in on federal charges, and he also faces local charges. So anytime you face local charges, you have to work with the federal government to get the inmate transferred and whatnot, and it can take 60 days or so. So it's a complicated bureaucracy to try to proceed with these cases, but obviously the discovery of Dylan is a big step forward. People all over the country have been praying for this young man. This was a sign at CrimeCon last year in Orlando, Florida. They had a poster up with his picture and people all around him, or messages from people, surrounding his image. And here's some photos that his mother, Candice Cooley, has shared. Little Dylan feeding pigs. He loved being outdoors. He loved fishing. He loved being on a tractor. He really was at home outside and working with animals. And he left eastern Idaho to move to achieve his dream of having his farm when he had this encounter, apparently, with Mr. Brenner on the last day of Dylan's life. And here we have Dylan Rounds, again, his body recovered, or the remains of his body, skeletal remains found in the remote Lucin, Utah desert on Tuesday morning. We are awaiting the medical examiner in Utah to positively 100% identify him. It's imagined that the remains will then be turned over to the family for a burial, for a funeral service. Details, of course, have not been announced. It's very early on in this to try to jump to that conclusion. The prosecutor may need to hang on to some of those, the remains, just for evidentiary purposes. We saw that in the Daybell case where they held on to the bodies of JJ and Tylee for some time, just in case they needed evidence. But a big chapter in the Dylan Rounds case moves forward as his body has been discovered. And we, of course, will continue to stay on top of it. You can watch all of our previous interviews with Dylan's parents, Candice Cooley and Justin Rounds, on eastidahonews.com and our YouTube channel. And we will post updates as we receive them from the family, from the sheriff's office, from investigators. The family says that they wish to extend their thanks to everyone who prayed for their son, to everyone who sent well wishes, who planted seeds. A couple of years ago, actually, every year on Dylan's birthday since he vanished, they've encouraged people to go out and plant seeds, sunflower seeds or other type of seeds, in Dylan's memory, because he loved farming, he loved planting, and every time someone planted those seeds, they could think of him. So we will keep you updated again. As I said, for now, I'm Nate Eaton reporting for eastidahonews.com.